Hello, everyone, and welcome back to JaianMusic Notes. Today, we're venturing deep into the mystical forest of Princess Mononoke, exploring one of Hisaishi's most powerful and emotionally layered scores. And I cannot go in this forest without my trusty music Ghibli analyst companion, Gabriel. How are you?
I'm pretty good. What about you? Thank you for having me, by the way.
Of course. Thank you for tolerating me. You're a very returning guest.
Oh, it's a pleasure every time. It's a pleasure every time.
We protect him at all costs.
So we do protect you, man.
Yeah. Together, we're going to be breaking down this legendary soundtrack across however many episodes it takes, maybe two, maybe just the one. We'll see. And it's got orchestral grandeur, spiritual subtleties, and the sound here is phenomenal. But before we get into all that, of course, a big thank you to the sponsor of JaianMusic Notes, Laser Audio Technologies. Whether you're composing a film, an anime, creating really intricate sounds, you can use code JaianMusic to get 30% off at checkout over at Laser Audio Technologies. They make creative effects plugins, and all of the money generated from that code goes straight back into the podcast, such as GoPro Kyo, who does all of the artwork. A big thank you to him. His links are also in the description. So, let's set the stage here. Princess Mononoke is a huge turning point in the Hisaishi Miyazaki collaboration. It's a score balancing like the Western symphonic tradition and, Japanese modal writing. There's so many things to go here. How do you feel about just the blend of those two worlds, like the Japanese pentatonic modal writing and Western symphonic tradition? Like, This soundtrack is layered, bro.
Yeah, well, right away, you can tell that it's going to be very different from any other Ghibli movies. Simply from the fact that, in this movie in particular, there's a lot more violence than any other Ghibli movies, and you can hear it through the soundtrack. When you think of Ghibli Studios, you're not ever gonna think of a movie where somebody gets their head chopped off or combat at all, but it happens in this movie.
Yeah. And
you can tell of the soundtrack, but at the same time, there are very obvious Ghibli parts, like there's pads, there's strings, there's a lot of different things that will still remain part of a Ghibli movie.
Absolutely. I was looking into this, and of course, this was recorded at a Philharmonic Orchestra. This is one of those orchestras that give me wall to wall,
absolutely,
just vastness. And I find that they use you know how you're talking about the violence? I feel like those violent moments are sharp like a blade, but sharp like an emotional transition.
Absolutely.
I love the whirlwind that the violins and violence take us through. I really find that there's this sort of like almost glissando, like it's a spinning violin, and you're really in the soundtrack, and there's a battle, and you're really circling and circling and circling. How did you feel about that effect? The effect of almost like the confusion that the orchestra leaves you under. Do you see what I mean, or am I?
Absolutely.
Or am I?
Yeah. Well, you can tell right away the quality of the musicianship. When it comes to big orchestras like that, they take only the best of the best. For example, the OSM, Orchestre Symphonique de Montréal. Do you know what it takes? My bad. You know what it takes when it comes to the auditions there?
It takes a lifetime.
Yeah, well, there's a few auditions you got to pass. And
Yeah.
then there's a big one, and they are very, very, very severe. So I can't even begin to imagine their auditions.
Oh, well,
Exactly.
I feel anxious. Just become a YouTuber. It's easier. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, sure. But the level of musicianship here is second to none, and you can really hear it. Not every orchestra would be able to reach that kind of level, that kind
Right.
of quality, in my opinion. And that's one thing from anything that's related to Ghibli. It's the authenticity and the pure talent within it, and you can really hear it within each movie, and this one as well.
Absolutely. And the other thing too is like we do talk about like I just mentioned how wall to wall the music is, but there's also like nature
Yeah.
in the soundtrack that I want to talk about. Obviously, it's not within the actual soundtrack, but it belongs in the audio and the sound of Princess Mononoke. How do you feel about the contrast of the silence of that forest ambience versus those like I don't want to say high octane, but like high intensity orchestral cues. Like compare like
Yeah.
that really intense orchestral cue to the nature and the ambience of Princess Mononoke. And I feel like in terms of dynamics and intensity, that's what the spectrum is.
Yeah, well, weirdly enough, do you know what soundtrack it made me think of?
Oh wait. Give me a hint. Give me a hint here.
It's a video game again, but it's a very
Teletubbies.
What?
Teletubbies.
No, it isn't. But it won Game of the Year a few years back.
Okay, well, it should be Teletubbies, but go ahead.
It's Elden Ring.
Oh, you're cooking with that. I see where you mean. I see. Yes.
See,
okay.
sometimes it's it's a very similar formula at times. There's gonna be pads there when you're in the beginning zone, you could say.
Yeah.
There's these lustrous pads. You're in the forest. It's strings. It's very mysterious at times. And then when there's a big impact, it's everything goes loose, And in both situation, you can tell there's a bit more Western symphonic influences than what your traditional, in this example, Ghibli movie would be. But even in Elden Ring, you can tell there's a big difference. There's a big Western influence.
Of course, there's much more of a Western influence for Elden Ring. But if we're gonna play the comparison game, I kind of want to go back to because last we spoke, we did Spirited Away, we did Ponyo. Now we're on Princess Mononoke. Like, how do you compare? Like, I don't want to say the big three, but almost the big three. Obviously, Totoro's in the conversation there.
Absolutely.
But like, how do you compare the soundtrack of Mononoke to Spirited Away and Ponyo?
That is a great question. Well, Ponyo is a lot more, it's a lot more of a wholesome movie, And you can tell along with the mix, the soundtrack, everything is in general way softer. Spirited Away, I feel like there's a lot more attempts at different things because there's a lot. Spirited Away is a thing of its own, whether it's Ghibli or not. It's a unique piece of art, and you can tell along with the soundtrack as well. There's nothing like it to me. And when it comes to Princess Mononoke, you can tell the Western influence a bit more. That's what separates the three a bit more, in my opinion.
Right. There is more Western there. Like it's hard to ignore.
Absolutely,
It's hard to ignore.
and I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No,
I think it's a
it's
good
just what
thing
it is.
actually. Yeah, because you can identify both really well off of that.
Absolutely. And there's also like the whole thing where I feel like we have a slower tempo,
Mhm.
or what feels like a slower tempo, in Princess Mononoke, and because this film is, it's a slow build, and then it's a big moment, and then it's another slow build, and then it's another big moment.
Absolutely.
Without trying to spoil too much, because I'm just trying to say in the soundtrack here. And I find that slow tempo, or like the concept of halftime, really lends itself well to that. What would you say about the whole like suspended resolutions and slow tempo of Hisaishi's score here? Like, how does that sit with you? Does that make sense? Could it be done
Absolutely.
differently?
Well, you can tell with suspended chords. Usually, you hear them when it sounds like you're floating. You know, it's a bit weird to say, but it's like if I said, to put it very simple, you know, minor chord sounds sad, major chord sounds happy, suspended chord sounds like floaty. You know, and it's something you're gonna hear in every single Ghibli movies, but you're gonna hear it more in Ponyo, a lot more in Ponyo. You're still gonna hear it in Princess Mononoke, still gonna hear it in Spirited Away, still gonna hear it in Totoro, but when it comes to Princess Mononoke, for example, if I'm looking at the soundtrack, World of the Dead, you're not gonna hear that in Ponyo, right?
No, you. World of the Dead is not no.
But it's a great song nonetheless.
It's honestly, World of the Dead is. I feel like it would be a disservice to not like talk about specific tracks here.
Okay.
If
Yeah, you're right.
But like, yeah, give me your. I feel like yes, World of the Dead. Tell me about it.
It's very unique. You know, the first or the second.
Either or, right?
Well, you know, it feels it's very dark. You know, there's a lot of diminished chords. It's a lot more darker compared to something you hear in Ponyo. That's my main point, and I feel like that's a huge service for the movie to have those kind of
Yes.
elements, because as I said earlier, there's a lot more brutality in that movie that you're not gonna have in a typical Ghibli movie. So to have that really adds to it in a good way.
I feel like there's also a umph in the lower register instruments.
Mhm.
That's one thing that I find just like anchors it all together.
Yeah.
It almost feels like this is gonna be a weird comparison, but like whenever I mix hip hop, like I always mono make.
No, it's all right.
My low end, because I just want to hit hard. I want those
Yeah.
808s and those kick drums to like you know just be a tight, solid low end foundation. Here, it's like that low end is a foundation for the suspense,
Absolutely.
and for the journey of Princess Mononoke. We have these sort of like, it's almost like a growling woodwind, or a growling strings. It's
Absolutely.
like bass. It's just like so fierce almost. Is that one of the first few aspects of the soundtrack that jumps to you when you think of it?
Absolutely. But you know what else gives a huge punch in the
Tell
soundtrack
me.
here? It's gonna sound obvious at some point if I say it, but not that much at the same time that you made me think about it. Do you know what
Tell
I'm
me.
gonna say?
The drums,
Nope.
the percussion.
Nope. I mean, you're right, but it's not that part.
I don't want to play guesses earlier.
I'm
I got it
thinking-
wrong with.
It's all. I'm thinking
what?
of a very specific moment in the movie. To
Oh.
be fair,
You got it. You just say it.
all
Just
right.
say it.
It's
That's fine.
the silence.
Right. Yeah.
All
This
there is
man,
to it.
this does not tell a lie. This man does not tell a lie when he
Well,
says
you know, when the deer comes in,
that.
there's barely anything, and it makes the whole
Yeah.
punch. And when you were talking about hip hop earlier, it's an effect that is very often used as well. You know, you're gonna have rap or whatever over it, and then you're gonna silence the instrumental for a bit, just for when
Yeah.
the kick comes in, it's gonna have that much more impact.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely,
exactly what
absolutely.
happens there, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like that a sort of unresolved tension moment, and I really love like just how can I say sparse the texture is within all of that as well, because you think like you got the percussion, you got the woodwinds, you got the strings,
Absolutely.
and it's this it's so much texture, it's so much texture, it's so much texture, and then a deer.
Yeah.
And a silent deer at that. And there's like just ambience in that too, like just that make it feel like larger than life.
Absolutely.
You can hear the room when you listen to this soundtrack. Like I was listening to the symphonic suite of Princess Mononoke, the 2021 version specifically, The World of the Dead, Adagio of Life and Death. This one, like I hear the room right away. I feel like there's like this like openness, and just such a great soundtrack, man.
I love how it fades out, by the way.
right? The tail?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to talk about like the reverb tails of these songs, or like their ending points? Like, how do you feel about all that?
Well, it fades into my favorite song of the soundtrack, which is World of the Dead. So that does really help. But to me, it really feels like life and death, because in the beginning it's very beautiful. It feels very sparkly, and then you had a lower section of strings, which would be, in my opinion, the death part, and then you enter, World of the Dead. So to me, it's a beautiful concept that goes through the whole thing.
Absolutely, I cannot disagree with what you just said. What about another standout track here in Princess Mononoke? In my opinion, has to be Lady Eboshi, a song I've actually covered. I find it so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, one thing I really like is that it's and it's something that you can hear often within Ghibli songs overall. It's complicated within its simplicity.
Yes, those chords are bizarre.
Exactly.
Those high bing.
It's not something you're gonna hear very much anywhere else. It's not combinations you're gonna hear often. But Hisaishi just proves once again that he can do it, and he's the man to do it.
Oh man, Hisaishi, Joe Hisaishi is one of those like composers that just does it differently. He has a musical language that I will never be able to fully express on this podcast. And I really want to say, like, this podcast was founded on the concept of people like Joe Hisaishi, their works, because I find that there's like such beautiful music, and it needs to be spoken about, and it needs to be explored, and it needs to be like fully dove into. Like, I feel like Joe must have made like hundreds of film scores, and like they hit time after time. And what I really like about Joe Hisaishi's work is specific to he has really collaborated with Hayao Miyazaki over time. And you can see the evolution, and you can see the differences also from film to film to film. They're really like, there's no real connective tissue between any of these films. They can all stand as their own soundtracks that all become anime music staples. And you can just feel the passion for the music when you listen to his soundtrack. Man, absolutely beautiful. And I've never had the chance to say this.
Go ahead.
On a podcast before. This is about Joe Hisaishi. It's not about Mononoke. We will get back to Mononoke in a quick second here, but I have to. Joe Hisaishi has the best. This is not even. No one can tell me differently. Joe Hisaishi has the best SoundCloud banner of all SoundCloud profiles.
I did not know that. I'm not using SoundCloud, so I haven't I didn't take a look, but you're gonna have to show me after that.
It's a banner with Totoro, the cat bus, and they just got like their mouth wide open, and it's just
beautiful.
like. It's like it's like it's like all pixelated. It looks like some Google image you downloaded with
Oh, it's all
like,
pixelated.
it's not like it's not HD. It's not HD, bro.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, sometimes,
This ain't HD, bro.
Yeah?
It's not.
but maybe it
Yeah,
makes
it's
it
not.
even better. Who knows?
And that's what makes it so good. I'll be honest. Like bro was like, oh, this works. This fits. Figured it out.
I got a question for you.
Of course.
Out of curiosity, you said that this podcast was made about writers like Joe Hisaishi.
Yeah, composers like that. Absolutely.
Exactly. Which other names could you name that would fit the bill?
For me, so you got for sure. Like I've talked about this person so many times. Yoko Kanno.
Okay.
It's like Yoko Kanno is insane to talk about because I've had the opportunity to now interview people who have directly worked with Yoko Kanno.
Okay.
So it's like
Wow.
it's an insane thing to even conceptualize and having this chance of having to see her in New York City and see her perform live. Like I really feel like I've really immersed myself in her musical universe in the last, year and some that this podcast existed. And then it's someone like Hiroyuki Sawano. Hiroyuki Sawano is a huge one for me. Another incredible anime composer, arranger, made music for like Seven Deadly Sins, Blue Exorcist. So yeah, but it's really Joe. I want to say Joe and Yoko are like the must ones, the plus ones that I'm very much in the reason why I made this podcast. But I do want to circle back here.
Yeah,
Go back
absolutely.
to
We
our,
drifted a little bit. Just a
as
little
we
bit.
do, and that's okay.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's our show. We do what we want. So how do you interpret, like, because we just left on Lady Eboshi, the Lady Eboshi theme? How do you interpret the duality in that theme? Like the piece of it, but also the fact that it's attached to such a war-driven film.
A war-driven film. That
This is maybe a controversial take, but you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
the same,
absolutely. That's
yeah.
one way to say it. But what's great is that you can also tell that there's no real, you could say, antagonist in those movies, whether it's Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away. There's no mean guy-ish.
Right.
Even though
It's this power struggle.
yeah, exactly. Even though some of them aren't necessarily doing the greatest things, they all have somewhat of a purpose that you can relate to a bit more,
Right. Right.
and
Absolutely.
that's something that even with Princess Mononoke, you can tell why everything is going the way it goes. And
Why do you say that?
I mean,
That's interesting.
it's something that they were talking about at Ghibli. They were saying, there's we can tell a story without necessarily having, an antagonist within it, without like, oh, this hero defeated this evil entity,
Yeah.
and that's what makes a good storyteller, in my opinion.
Absolutely. But when you talk about like evil entity, I still feel like, how do I say this? There's no evil entity, but the fact that the music works so well in this film and that the silence really complements it. There's also
Absolutely.
like certain soundtracks that I want to like point out, like specific songs, like the Demon God. I don't know if you know exactly which one I'm referring to. If you want,
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the Demon God. It's like this could have this song fits for Mononoke right away. Like those drums are driving
Yeah, a
it
lot of
across. Like
tension.
there's something. There's like so much tension. It's like a battle. Something's off, and we resolve away of the percussion with those suspended high strings that kind of like ease into like here's more problems, here's more issues coming your way, and I swear this song to me could have been in Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Absolutely, but you know,
Like if yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
but you know, the crazy part is that the power of that demon is not used to do a bad deed. Still,
Right.
you know, within
Right.
that movie,
Right.
it's used to accomplish a good deed at the end.
And I see where you're coming from. The thing is, nonetheless, you watch the film, you interpret it the way you interpret it.
Absolutely,
And the demon god, you just play the demon god anywhere you want. Like, just something's going to go awry.
yeah.
Something's not right. There's something like something's unbalanced.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of the beauty of that soundtrack. Personally.
Absolutely. So let's slowly close part 1 here. I'm gonna just say that we explored like. Shut up, Alexa.
I think you should leave that in, personally.
Okay, fine. Fine, I'll leave it in. My you know what? I'm not gonna say its name. Just went off and did not know how to help me with that. Well, I don't need your help. I'm concluding this episode. Let's get back to our wolves here in our mystical forest of Princess Mononoke. So in this part, we really just explored how the score defined the world and how it just closes the walls. No, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say this in the most beautiful, poetic way I can.
Okay.
I said that this music is wall to wall because of how vast it is. And I believe that the music conceptualized or formed or strengthens the walls of the Princess Mononoke universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I'm going to put it.
100%.
What are your final thoughts here before we jump back into the part 2, Gabriel?
Honestly, you couldn't have said it better. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at that, because that was a perfect way to end it. It was poetic, it was brilliant. I'm not gonna be adding my own 2 cents and butcher it, you know?
Yeah, if there's already a nickel in there, we don't need to make it 7 cents with your 2 cents. I
Exactly.
appreciate that,
Yeah. Yeah, that's my point.
All right. In the next episode, I do have a tradition that I do with Gab on every single episode. I will keep that tradition that it will remain unspoken for the next episode. So make sure to tune in. Sponsored of the podcast is Laser Audio Technologies. You can use code JaianMusic for 30% off. You can also find the podcast, JaianMusic Notes, in your favorite podcatcher and at JaianMusic on social media. The artist for the podcast is GoPro Kyo. Go follow him. All of his links are in the description. Gabriel, where can people find you?
On Instagram. I'm at the.
What's your Instagram?
Yeah, I'm at the Gab the Metalhead. I do a lot of things that are related to the heavier side of music, but I have my credentials. I graduated from Technique. I currently teach music in few different facilities, including a university, which I'm not gonna name, because if you get me in your class, that's gonna be a surprise. But yeah.
I love it. Gab, always a pleasure to have you on.
Same
so
here.
Let's pause it for here, but Gabriel and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.